Hey guys, producer TCustomz, TCustomz.com, owner of TCustomz Productionz LLC. Over the course of making hip-hop beats for the past 8 years or so, one of the things I found very challenging is to find good quality bass sounds to use in authentic hip-hop production. Many of the bass packs I've seen out there on the market are not made with traditional hip-hop producers in mind. And so that's what I'm planning to bring you with this bass pack. What I've done is put together a collection of custom layered, EQ'd, and further processed bass patches that I use in my own personal production catalog. These various bass sounds have been acquired and developed over the course of many years and are perfect for your East Coast, old school, underground, Midwest, sample-based beats, really any authentic hip-hop production. All the sounds have been exported into high-quality wave and MIDI formats and will work on virtually any hardware or software device that you're using. So what's actually included in this kit? Well, first off, you're going to get 10 custom patches, 100% personalized synth, electric, and sub-bass sounds. Each bass folder will include an original bassline in audio and MIDI format, plus 2 single 3 to 4 second long bass notes that you can use to create your own custom basslines. I'll discuss in more detail in the demonstration. In addition, there are also 2 free bonuses, so stay tuned for those. So now that you have a better idea what to expect with this bass pack, let's get into the demonstration. Again, these bass sounds can be used in virtually any hardware or software. I'll be demonstrating today in Ableton Live. So as you can see over here on the left-hand side, I'm actually inside of the Hip Hop Bass Sample Pack folder. And what you see are 10 subfolders, bass 0, 1 through 10, and you also see a bonus Lost Sessions bassline, which I'll talk about in a little while. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the first bass folder. Now the first thing that you see here is one of my original bass lines in audio format that was lifted from one of my previous sessions. Now you can use this bass line in a couple different ways. You can use the existing bass line as is and create a beat around it, or you can also chop, sample, and rearrange the bass line. Now the second thing you're going to see is this same bass line in MIDI format. This will allow you to easily edit and modify this existing bass line in MIDI. In addition, each folder will have a bass note in the root key of the original bass line as well as the key of C. Each of these bass notes will be approximately 3 to 4 seconds long to give you guys the most amount of flexibility when you're creating your bass lines. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up to the Ableton instruments and drag over a sampler into this MIDI track. I'm going to come back to the bass 01 folder and drag in the bass note C into this Ableton sampler. So now if I solo this MIDI track, you're going to hear that this is essentially playing the exact same bass line that you heard up here in audio form. Now that you have this in MIDI, you now have full control over this. You could rearrange the notes as you see fit. But let's just say I want to create my own custom bass line. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these MIDI notes. And now that I have my MIDI track armed over here, I can now play this bass patch across my keyboard. So now what I'm going to do is come over here to my keyboard and record a custom bass line using this patch. So now that I've created a custom bass line, I next want to add a kick drum. For the first bonus of this kit, what I've done is I've included the exact kick drums that were used for each of these bass patches, that were used in the exact sessions for each of these bass lines. So during your creation process, this will simply give you another option to eliminate having to search for a particular kick drum to match that particular bass sound. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the Ableton instruments and drag over a drum rack. And I'm going to come back to this kick drum in this bass 01 folder and drag it into C1. And so now I'm simply going to click in a drum kick pattern for this particular bass line. So now let's say I wanted to keep that same bass line and kick drum pattern. I just wanted to substitute in a different bass patch. So I'm going to come down here to bass 08 and I'm going to drag over this bass C note down into this Ableton sampler and replace the old patch. So as you can see, each of these folders contain similar files, just with a different bass patch for each folder. As for the second bonus, you can see this bonus Lost Sessions Basslines folder. This folder contains 6 distinct original bass lines in audio format that were exported from some of my previous beats. Now, as the name implies, these bass lines were from lost sessions, and I did not have the ability to export the files like I did for the other bass patches. However, you can still use these bass lines as is, or chop and rearrange them as you wish. So as you can see, there's a lot you can do with these various bass patches. Feel free to get in and experiment, custom layer, EQ. Feel free to use any of the bass lines as is, or get in and create your own custom sounds. Really, the idea is to help you guys create the best tracks that you possibly can. You know, if you're interested in this kit, it's available at TCustomz.com. Also, the outro of this video will demonstrate some more of the bass patches used in actual beats. And feel free to submit me any tracks that you finished using these bass sounds. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. Make it a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
You know